Welcome to Voicemail, an application created by a team of back-end software developers at the Turing School of Software and Design. I'm Christina Delpone, and the rest of our team consists of Nate Brown, Greg Fisher, Billy Frey, and Alex McConnell. I'll pass it along to Nate.
So, what's the idea behind voicemail? Well, Consumer Reports and sort of common sense say that letters carry significantly more weight with a legislator than just sending them an email when you're trying to get your voice heard. But obviously, it's much less convenient to send your representative a physical letter. You have to look up their address. You have to either type out or write out a letter. You have to put that in an envelope and add a stamp and walk to your mailbox or even drive to the post office. And every step of the way just sort of adds to the barriers to entry to having the biggest possible impact on your legislators. So what voicemail does is it provides a convenient web interface for doing all of those things. We think this might be especially helpful for younger demographics, millennials or Gen Z, who are more comfortable with digital communication, and this sort of levels the playing field between them and earlier generations who might have sent a letter to the representative before and are much more comfortable with that process.
This is the welcome page of our voicemail application. On it, we have options to log in or register with username and password, as well as with Google OAuth. Once I log into the application, I'm taken to my user dashboard where I see my name, my address, and then a list of representatives that were generated based off of that address. I can go ahead and edit that address, and as long as I put in any other valid address, I'm taken back to my user dashboard with that address updated and a new list of representatives generated based off of it. I can click on any of these representatives and it will pop up an option to send the letter and then a picture of that representative if there's one associated with them. If I go ahead and send this letter to Glenn Youngkin, I'm taken to a page to compose my letter where I can type in anything I'd like and then have that preview of said letter appear on the right. Once I'm happy with that, I can go ahead and create that letter. Or I'm taken to one final confirmation page, which is just going to show a PDF of exactly what that letter will look like, including the autofilled address to that representative. I can see that it is going to be estimated arrival date of February 7th, so I confirm that letter and pay, which will take me to Stripe. And once I'm on Stripe, I can go ahead and just enter in my personal information and go ahead and pay. After my payment has been successfully processed, I am then going to be taken back to my user dashboard, and if I want to, I could log out of the application.
Our application is built with Ruby on Rails and hosted on Heroku. As Greg just showed, the front-end application utilizes Google OAuth for initially logging in and Stripe to handle payments for letters. In addition, the application uses JavaScript for showing every preview of the letter prior to it being sent. During the process of logging in and creating a letter, Greg's basic user information and the letter he created were both stored within the backend application using Postgres. Lastly, we utilize two APIs. Google Civic API allows us to look up a representative's contact information when given a user's address and present that information for each individual representative. The Lob API is responsible for validating users' addresses, creating PDF letter previews, and sending the physical letter.
Our team used an agile workflow, and because we were fully remote, our continuous communication was key to our success. Prioritizing daily stand-ups and having a constant flow of communication via Slack and Zoom allowed our team to easily rotate between front-end, back-end, and documentation roles at each sprint with minimal time and energy spent on orienting ourselves with the codebase. Early on, we treated our two READMEs as ever-evolving documents. They acted as a guide and provided easy access to frequently used documentation and resources. We tracked the progress of user stories with the Trello board, which also included extensions and future iterations. Between the living READMEs and a well-maintained Trello board, we were able to manage our time effectively and allow for creative space when it came to extensions and individual learning goals.
We have refined our vision down to 3 easily implemented features. First, a shopping cart for letters. A shopping cart would allow users to send multiple letters at a single checkout. This reduces repetition of tasks and also greatly reduces cost per letter due to the credit card processors charging a flat 30-cent transaction fee. Second, we would add upcoming bills specific to the user's legislators. An example of this is every Friday, the House of Representatives releases their schedule for upcoming bills that they will vote on. We could take this schedule in XML format and add it to the appropriate legislator's informational dropdown. Third, we could create greater user control over styling and fonts. We could have a database of letter templates and users can select from them. We can also upgrade the simple text box input to a Rails action text box that enables a wide range of user selectable fonts and formatting options.
And last, if you're wondering, yes, we did send a test letter this is from my old address to my new address, and you did it using the voicemail platform. So it's not just a proof of concept, it really does work.